MH360 Air turned back due to landing gear issue. Query into harmful chemical plastic food containers. Good evening, I'm Cynthia Arthur. You're watching News on 2. A Malaysia Airlines MAS flight from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, China, returned to the Kuala Lumpur International Airport KLIA several hours after taking off. Flight MH360, which took off from KLIA at 6 p.m., was scheduled to land in the Chinese capital at 12:20 a.m. today. In a statement released today, MAS said the flight experienced an air turn back due to a landing gear issue. The statement also said in the interest of passenger safety, the operating captain made a decision to return to KLIA. MAS added refreshments were provided to all passengers and all onward connections were arranged. The airline added safety is Malaysia Airlines' #1 priority at all times, and it regrets the inconvenience caused to its passengers. The Ministry of Health, through its Food Safety and Quality Division, BKKM, will look into the report of harmful chemical found in cheap plastic food containers and toys that are being widely sold in the country. Minister Dato Sri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad said if it was true the said plastic material could contaminate food and drinks with harmful chemical, the ministry would not hesitate to take action under the Food Act 1983 and Food Hygiene Regulations 2009.
Kena perhatikan dahulu, pertamanya dari sudut laporan, ya, dan juga yang lebih penting adalah bahagian kualiti dan keselamatan makanan. Kementerian Kesihatan akan menasihatkan saya dan mendapatkan semua maklumat yang sangat penting untuk kita membuat keputusan. Keputusan kita mesti berdasarkan fakta, mesti berdasarkan maklumat, ya, dan ini perlu sikit kajian untuk mengenal pasti apa sebenarnya masalah mudaratan atau toxicity di situ.
He said this after officiating the Healthy Lifestyle Carnival for Paroi State constituency today. He was asked to comment on a news report about the widely used of plastic food containers and toys that are being sold cheaply at convenience stores in the country, which could bring negative impact to consumer health in the long run as it contains chemical substance called phthalate. On call that plastic products manufacturers should declare chemical content in their products, Dato Sri Dr. Zulkifli said he would discuss the matter with the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs. The prosecution filed a notice of appeal against the acquittal of a woman who was charged with reckless driving that caused a road accident in which 8 teenage cyclists were killed 2 years ago. Johor State Prosecution Director Amir Nasruddin said the notice of appeal was filed after the prosecution found and believed there were merits to file the notice of appeal based on several issues. Amir said the prosecution believes there were merits in the notice of appeal on certain issues. Among the issues and merits related to the case includes the identity of the accused, the location of the incident, and the accused was unfamiliar with the route at the scene. He also dismissed the claims that the notice of appeal was filed due to the pressure from the victims' families or other party and described it as a normal procedure following a court decision. The prosecution filed a notice of appeal at about 9:30 a.m. at Johor Bahru Sessions Magistrates Court. Also present were Deputy Public Prosecutor Muhammad Shafiq Muhammad Ghazali and Johor Bahru South District Police Headquarters Investigation and Enforcement Division's Senior Investigating Officer ASP Muhammad Yusuf Muhammad Ali. On the 28th of October, Magistrate Siti Hajar Ali acquitted and discharged sales promoter Sam Kerting, 24, who was charged with reckless driving that caused a road accident in which 8 teenage cyclists were killed on the 18th of February 2017. Police have received 24 police reports related to the Tanjung Piai by-election campaign activities. Johor Police Chief Datuk Muhammad Kamaruddin Maddin said 2 of the cases were referred to the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC), while another one was submitted to the Attorney General's chambers. He said the cases involved seditious statements, installation of flags and billboards sabotage. He added that no arrests have been made and the campaign was peaceful and under control.
Untuk yang kes yang disiasat, saksi telah pun kita rakam percakapan dan salah satu kes telah pun kita rujuk kepada pejabat pegawai negara.
He urged every quarters involved with the by-election to not act provocatively throughout the campaign period. Datuk Muhammad Kamaruddin was met after attending the State Police Monthly Assembly at Johor Police Contingent Headquarters. The Malaysian Meteorological Department has issued an advisory on tropical depression Nakri, which is expected to hit summer waters soon. In a statement released today, Met Malaysia said that based on observation as of 5 a.m. today, the tropical depression is located at about 618 kilometers northeast of Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, at the latitude of 12.5 north and longitude of 112 east. The statement also said the distance from the nearest town is about 819 kilometers on the northwest of Kudat, and this may cause strong winds and rough seas in the South China Sea waters. The storm is expected to move west at a speed of 15 kilometers per hour with a maximum wind speed of 108 kilometers per hour. 4 telecommunications station workers were stranded on Bukit Larut in Taiping following a landslide that happened this morning. Taiping Fire and Rescue Operations Chief Rafil Hairul Richard said the department received a distress call at about 8:52 a.m. before rushing to the scene. The fire and rescue personnel were having trouble to retrieve the stranded victims as the landslide happened on the tarred road. Cleaning works were done by the Taiping Municipal Council and Works Department. Meanwhile, Taiping Municipal Council in a statement said operations in Bukit Larut had to be postponed until tomorrow to allow for the cleaning works of the landslide site to be completed. The body of a man was found at dataran Sungai Udang, Teluk Intan at about 7 a.m. this morning. The body was found about 5 kilometers from where the victim was believed to have fallen. Assistant Superintendent of Fire and Rescue Department Muhammad Azroizan Wahad said the search operation was expanded to 7 kilometers before finally locating the victim, Tan Kok Bun, aged 30. The body was retrieved and sent to the police for further action. The victim was reported to have fallen down into the dataran Sungai Udang in Teluk Intan on Friday. The government is set to create a new economic corridor that connects cities in Malaysia next year. This will allow the development of minor towns between the districts and elevate the economic growth in the areas. Economic Affairs Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin Ali said this will create a new nucleus city that include districts as well as minor towns in Johor. The long-term plan for the project execution will be tabled to the Prime Minister, Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad soon.
Tapi daerah-daerah kecil ini perlu juga mendapat perhatian daripada kerajaan untuk dibangunkan kerana ianya dapat memberikan kebaikan kepada penduduk yang berkenaan. Sama ada dalam bentuk pengangkutan awam seperti rail ataupun ports, new airport dan kemudahan-kemudahan yang dapat menjana pertumbuhan ekonomi bagi negeri Johor yang akhirnya dapat menyumbang kepada KDNK Malaysia.
Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin was met at Pakatan Harapan meet and greet session at Kampung Bakar Arang, Pontian. He also said Tanjung Piai is not excluded from the development plan. However, its involvement will be studied first. The Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, MOTAC, will propose to the Transport Ministry to issue special permits to foreign tourists who want to rent and ride high-powered motorcycles in the country. MOTAC's Secretary General, Dato' Isham Ishak, says at present foreign tourists are not allowed to rent and ride high-powered motorcycles even though they have the license.
So perhaps this will be a good initiative that we can propose to Ministry of Transport so that we can come up with a special permit so that foreign bikers can come to Malaysia, rent motorcycle and ride along the roads in Malaysia, especially the coastal roads of Terengganu, Pahang, Kelantan. Those are beautiful rides. And Borneo also as well.
Yes.
Dato' Isham was speaking to reporters at an event to post the Visit Truly Asia Malaysia 2020 logo sticker on high-powered motorcycles organised by Motac and the DZ Big Bikes Club in Kuala Lumpur. Meanwhile, according to President of the DZ Big Bikes Club, Dato' Zailan Mohammed, this move will boost the economy, specifically in the tourism industry. He said it would also help people in the business of renting out big bikes, as there would be increased demand from foreign tourists. The level of attainment of the agenda to form a firmly united people to an independent and sovereign nation is still vague despite 62 years of liberty. Sultan of Perak, Sultan Nazrin Shah, renowned as a ruler who is vocal and firm in reprimanding anything inappropriate, says the process of building independent citizens who are united and possessing a national identity cannot be delayed because it is the assurance to the continuity of national sovereignty. Elaborating further, Sultan Nazrin said slogans and rhetorics in the name of race and religion with extreme pitches and increasingly echoing need to be stopped quickly because they are akin to embers which will inflame the conflagration of hostility and subsequently bring destruction to the nation.
Negara kritikal ini memerlukan paradigma yang progresif yang membolehkan rakyat berasa senang dan selesa, tidak memiliki prasangka dan curiga. Di sebaliknya, berminda terbuka menghargai kepelbagaian yang dikurniakan di bumi ini.
The Sultan of Perak said this at an award presentation ceremony in conjunction with his 63rd birthday at Istana Iskandaria in Kuala Kangsar. In this regard, Sultan Nazrin said the nation urgently needs a diplomat to establish a brotherhood which is long-sighted, mature, patient, calm and rational so that high temperatures could be reduced and the nation is steered clear of disaster due to racial and religious disputes. Based on the current development, Sultan Nazrin urged all quarters to recall the warnings of former Minister of Home Affairs Tun Dr. Ismail Abdul Rahman in 1960, who said the challenge of communalism, which can divide the people, cannot be combated using arms or isolated because it grows inside every citizen. Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah today graced the Cooperative Entrepreneur Carnival organised by the Ministry of Entrepreneur Development in Putrajaya. His Majesty was received by Entrepreneur Development Minister Dato' Sri Muhammad Redzwan Mat Yusof and Putrajaya Corporation President Dato' Dr. Aminuddin Hasim. Al-Sultan Abdullah, accompanied by Dato' Sri Muhammad Redzwan, also took the time to visit the participants of the carnival. His Majesty also presented gifts to participants of the 9 to 5 half marathon run held in Putrajaya earlier. Some 10,000 runners took part in a marathon as early as 6 a.m. this morning. The 3-day carnival, which began on Friday, had recorded sales amounting to more than 150,000 ringgit and attracted about 20,000 visitors from Putrajaya and the Klang Valley. Among others, the carnival features various products and services offered by cooperatives from the micro, small, medium and large clusters. Besides that, BIZOP, Business Opportunity Sessions, held during the carnival had benefited more than 200 participants who learned more about doing businesses from founders of big names such as the Manhattan Fish Market, Chat Time and Al Ihsan Sports. National squad head coach Tan Cheng Ho has described the 1-0 win over Tajikistan here tonight in Bukit Jalil as a motivating victory. The positive result in the Tier 1 international friendly against the 116th ranking team gives the squad a positive boost ahead of two important 2022 World Cup and 2023 Asia Cup qualifiers matches against Thailand and Indonesia on November 14th and 19th. In last night's game, striker Mohammad Safawi Rashid scored the winning goal in the 72nd minute against Tajikistan, who were reduced to 10 men after goalkeeper Rustam Yatimov was shown a red card in the 46th minute. Competing in Group G of the second round of the qualifiers, Malaysia currently sits in 4th place with 3 points, 4 points behind leaders Thailand. Victories over the two neighbouring countries will not only revive Harimau Malaya's chances of advancing to the next round, but it would also make up for the two narrow losses experienced by the squad in the first 3 games. Malaysia lost 1-2 to the United Arab Emirates UAE at the Bukit Jalil National Stadium in September before losing 0-1 to Vietnam in Hanoi last month. That concludes this evening's news. On to, in our top story, MH360 air turned back due to landing gear issue. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Cynthia Arthur. Thank you for watching and stay tuned to TV2.